Here's another League of Legends game coming your way, this time with Ashe AD Carry. She has been reworked, and now I'm putting her on the channel to show how things have changed. Objectively speaking, for the most part, she is weaker than she used to be. She's not as good at poke, and she can't really burst down targets. So she's kind of stuck in the middle of where she used to be. When her Q active is up and stacked, she's still a force to be reckoned with, but everything seems to revolve around this for late game damage, I think. So, lane matchups, let's start there. Hecarim in the jungle against Lee Sin. I'm Ashe, partner with Zyra bot against Draven and Leona, so we have a lot of bursts coming our way. We have Tryndamere top into Rengar and Fizz mid into Katarina. So the Rengar, Lee, and Katarina can all be assassins I have to worry about.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Guess I'm playing with a pre-made. But as for Ashe, your passive is now Frost Shot. Your auto attacks and spells slow targets. The amount of the slow scales with level goes up like every 3 levels. Basic attacks are guaranteed crits for targets that are slowed. They deal, instead of the usual double damage, they deal a 10% bonus and then 1% for every amount of crit chance you have. Which is why Ashe is going to be weaker. Even with an Infinity Edge, she is not dealing the 2.5 damage that all the other characters are. Q is Ranger's Focus. Whenever you apply your Frost Shot, you get stacks of focus, stacks 5 times when you activate it. Well, when you use the spell in general, you will get a surge of attack speed, your Frost Shot is more powerful, and you can do a flurry of arrows, and that is where Ashe still has some potential for damage. W is Volley, that's pretty much unchanged. I think it has longer range and wider spread or something like that.
How close they can get.
First blood.
Wow. What the hell happened there?
I do my best work from afar.
So right there you got to see the little mini crits Ashe does. And if not for the whole part about that replacing her ordinary crits, she'd be really good.
Stand together.
And just noticed Draven burned his health pot. Okay, this Zyra is pretty brutal. I like her.
I won't lead us astray.
An enemy has been slain.
United, we are stronger.
What just happened? Katarina died to Fizz.
Never lose focus. Miss.
You have slain an enemy.
And she lives, so no cashing out for Draven.
always take the high ground.
Just wait.
Not enough for a BF sword yet, sadly.
This requires a steady hand.
Okay, can you pop those?
Lead the target.
An enemy has been slain.
Stand together. Faster than my arrow?
So we're at a slight disadvantage here because Draven has that Vamp Scepter. May end up getting us killed, but we'll hang around anyway.
Strike quickly.
Oh yeah, I'm dead.
I will unite
So
the brilliant.
this is a bit of a good sign. Lee could be going for Warrior instead of Cinderhulk. I think it was nerfed in the patch, but it's still pretty annoying.
Killing spree.
And Trinimir's having a field day with Rengar. Sadly, with Draven cashing out, he can afford a BF sword pretty easily. Even with buying that Vamp Scepter, I suspect.
I always take the high ground.
Right now, I'm hoping she went for the challenge just for more poke, because if she's not going support, we are just going to have a vision disadvantage come late, and
Make it
we'll get
count.
ugly. I mean, she does have the ruby crystal, so it's pretty likely. Now he has a pickaxe.
Swiftly now.
Double kill.
Show me a path. I won't lead us astray.
Oh well.
An enemy has been slain.
We must press on.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
So, I have a Vamp Scepter of my own. Yeah. Important thing is I got Lee to slow him down. Leona getting away is easily the most expendable of the bunch. If there's one that I wanted to, it'd be her.
Never lose focus.
Sorry, I had to.
I do my best work from afar.
She's even burning.
Shut down.
Not worth my ult. TikTok. Where the hell's he going?
United, we are stronger. Do not confuse mercy for weakness. We're on the right path. The Freljord. Faster than my arrow? I think not.
I think I'm gonna head mid.
Lead the way. I do my best work from afar. Peace requires a steady hand.
An ally has been slain.
She had no business being over there.
Has been slain.
Okay, from this point on I will be doing post-game commentary. I thought I had turned the microphone off, so I stopped talking, but in reality I didn't. But now that I'm speaking after I know how everything played out, I do know that I get the opportunity to show you some of the things that Ashe is still pretty good at. This is one of my favorite moments, how you actually have enough range to shoot over the wall and snipe Leona.
Killing spree.
So even though Ashe did get some changes, she still does have her 600 attack range, and the actual movement of her arrows was increased, so it's actually a little bit easier to last hit on her.
Shut down.
We are one people.
So while I was saying that she is considerably weaker than before, that's in a dueling situation. You basically have to rely on your ult and a fully stacked Q in order to turn the tide in your favor. And you'll see what I mean right here when I deal with Draven. So yes, he is taking turret shots, but the thing is, your Q, in order to activate its secondary effect, you need 5 stacks. And the way you generate stacks is basically just by attacking stuff. And I fired the volley into the wave of minions there. I hit 5 separate targets, which automatically gave me max stacks. That allowed me to use the Q, and then I could actually do the little volley shot.
An ally has been slain.
So I guess calling it a volley may not be accurate because of her W, but you do your barrage. That's a better way to describe it. So while Ashe's straight up damage is considerably weaker, if you're able to do that barrage, she's still very dangerous. But the problem is, you're not good in duels, like I said. If you don't have a bunch of stuff to fire your volley into or get some auto attacks off ahead of time, you're not going to charge that Q, and odds are you're going to lose whatever fight you're fighting. So right here, Fizz made the right move, right call to turn around, and we are going to get a kill here off the lead. So I arrived just in time. I managed to slow him to get the guaranteed crit, and then I got to follow up with another volley for the kill. Sadly, no assist for Fizz, but it gave me the blue buff. I can't... or did I have that? I think I just got that. And here I think I... well, you saw me doing a little bit of a number on Cat. So I have a moment here to explain what I mean by reduced damage. So your crit rate, including the Infinity Edge, is crit multi. All of those are applied to Ashe's passive, which means she doesn't get the 2.5 times damage from the Infinity Edge like normal AD carries do. The trade-off for that, of course, is your little barrage can kind of shred a guy, but it does give Ashe windows of strength and weakness, and sadly more weakness than strength, I'd say. So we managed to pick off Draven, nothing big there.
We must press on.
One thing that I should talk about real quick is the Ashe Zyra combo is not a good combo for Katarina to roam to. As long as Zyra doesn't squander her roots, it's damn near impossible for Kat to get much done down bot. The way Shinpo works that oh, we're gonna get mowed down right here, watch. So the way Shinpo works that positions her behind the target she's jumping to, and as a result, if you know that fact, you can actually turn around and immediately CC her. As for me, I just wasted my ult trying to disengage, and you can see Lee goes ahead and gets a bunch of kills. Good news is it was Lee, he doesn't really scale well with gold. So when Katarina goes all in on me from here on out, I'm going to ult behind me to basically kill her. Just that small window will actually allow me to start doing my passive crits. And the other nice thing is, when she's down like that, she can't fight back. She's just a sitting duck.
I do my best work from afar.
So right here I'm exploiting the global E. And we get to see that they tried to take a dragon. They aren't really equipped to take.
Never lose focus.
So going back about how Ashe has changed. The Q, if you can actually get the volley or barrage going, I'm gonna keep making that mistake. Ashe becomes one of the best tower takers in the game. She's not quite comparable to Jinx, but she's probably the next best thing behind Tristana, so she's sitting at number 3. Basically, you can just volley the incoming wave to get your max stacks on your Q, and then just pop the Q and melt the tower. I will do that to the mid-inner, so you'll actually get the opportunity to see that firsthand. And the lack of random crits is making it a little bit awkward to last hit on Ashe compared to typical AD carries, because normally you'd factor in a little bit about the just random crits, like shooting this one real early because the other ones weren't crits, which means I have a more likely chance of actually scoring a crit. For those that aren't aware with how crit works in this game, whenever you do have crit chance and you do not score a crit, the probability of you getting a crit actually goes up for subsequent shots. Here I get to pick off Draven using Ashe's range. Sadly, he does get to cash out by killing Hecarim ahead of time. Ah, dead cat. And sadly, Lee has his dash to get away, even though I definitely do a number on him. I think this is when I shred the mid-inner. So you'll get to see what I was talking about in a moment. And sadly, you can't crit the tower or anything. Nothing that broken. The volley alone is kind of pushing it. So if you notice, I have 5 stacks, and just auto-attacking the tower keeps them going. And you can see that red number under the tower, that's basically my barrage damage. So I did 777 within a very brief window, and that's without the Q maxed or a lot of AD. I just have a Vamp Scepter and IE. And the good news is, on this back I have enough to pick up another BF sword. Because of Cat, Lee, and Rengar, there's a very high probability of me getting blown up, so I need the Bloodthirster shield in order to have a slim chance of surviving. That's why I'm going for it next. Otherwise, for Ashe, I was trying to do the math earlier on whether or not you'd be better off stacking AD or actually finishing the Phantom Dancer. Static Shiv is considerably weaker on her now, since you can't do the old cheese tactic of using your guaranteed crit once you have Static Shiv charged to basically guarantee the 2.5 times damage. So instead of just doing 100 flat magic, you'd do 2.5. Now there still are ways to proc that, it's just it's not going to do as much damage as it used to. So sadly, this rework did kind of eliminate some of the old cheese Ashe strategies. Those are definitely one of the things I will miss. So right here I will kill Cat, but Draven kills me. So right there was her ult, I immediately ult behind me. I popped the heal thinking maybe I could dodge or have enough health to survive. I was 60 HP short after the heal, so quite enough. And I actually used a health pot earlier, like when Cat first appeared. I might have had a slim chance because those give you 15 per second. Then again, that entire skirmish was not 4 seconds, so I might have been doomed anyway I look at it. Unless I actually had the Bloodthirster itself, I guess.
Faster than my arrow?
Your turret has been destroyed.
So, Fizz asked why we died. The better question is, with all the guys collecting mid, where the hell was everyone else?
I always take the high ground.
So they got the 2 kills, they got the free turret, and it's just because we didn't really answer their gathering, we just gave them free stuff. Let's see, level 12, so I can't see the dots to know if my Q is maxed. It's not. I just did a quick... Let's see, 4, 5 puts me at 9. Oh, this is a good one where I survive with 2 HP. So I flash the wall to get the hell out. I turn, I ult, and I hit Rengar. So I didn't get the assists off of Cat or Draven, but I locked Rengar down so he couldn't do anything. He goes down, and sadly Leona dodged the arrow, so I get 2 assists, and we still sweep them in exchange for just our jungler. And I misread it while trying to make my getaway. It was actually 2 when I checked it after the game actually ended. And the reason why I mention that is just to put them on tilt a little bit of psychological warfare to maybe provoke them into more aggression. So right there the inhibitor goes down, and we can try to keep our stranglehold on the dragon. The thing is, we only have 1 dragon buff, so we get the increased damage, but we have to get the second one in order to increase our pushing power. And once I have that, the job that Ashe can do on turrets really becomes obscene. It really is the next closest thing to Jinx and Trist.
I won't lead us astray.
So right here I got to do what I did earlier. I get to poke Leona down across the wall, and her hands are kind of tied. I'm pretty sure Zenith Blade could clear the wall, but it's not... like, that's a one-way trip. So Cat goes down, I get to pick up 2 kills here. First Leona, second Draven, but Lee will kill me. I just barely miss getting him too. If I could have gotten 1 more auto attack, I think it would have been enough. He had approximately 200 health. When you look at my AD and then factor in the mini crit damage, it definitely should have been enough. I don't think he had enough armor to actually minimize my damage. But right here I grabbed the pickaxe because I hadn't done the numbers yet, and I still haven't to determine whether or not you're better off stacking AD or crit.
Requires a steady hand.
So all in all, once the dust settled, the dragon is still standing. And my ult is going to be off cooldown relatively soon, so even if they did come, I could try to snipe them. I have heal, no flash, but as long as my team does provide a little bit of cover, it should be pretty easy.
Do not confuse the magic.
So I got 1 auto attack in, so I kind of contributed to it, even though my contribution was highly, highly insignificant.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
So my goal right here is to try to keep the Q stacks alive. My one criticism of Ashe right now is since she's so reliant on that Q, those stacks don't last anywhere near long enough. And right here, boom. Fizz takes the kill, but it doesn't really matter. We got to pick off 2 of their assassins, which means I'm relatively safer as a result. I can go ahead and last hit these to regen my health, courtesy of the Bloodthirster. But without the random crits, I don't sustain as much as I used to. So there is a drawback. Since I didn't feel threatened, I didn't need to volley the minions to guarantee me the Q. I don't remember if I use it on this or not. There is a neat little sound effect that you may hear now and then that actually tells you when the Q is fully maxed. If you're wondering what that little sound has been all game, it's the Q. It's an audio cue that tells you. And Alavender may love making the Q on Q joke, but I'm going to refrain. So right there I did try to get the max stacks in case we needed to take that real quick. I didn't actually realize how much damage Hecarim did, and right here we can actually see Lee's build. Rengar's here, I flash back. We managed to get Rengar. We lose Fizz, but he gets Cat first. I don't get anything off Cat. And the tower lives a little while longer. I was kind of hoping Lee would step a little bit forward, because if I can land one auto attack, he's dead. I can just ult him or just immediately pop the W. It doesn't really matter. So I'm at 4 stacks, now I'm at 5, and this is the end of the game. They are going to kill me while we're attacking the Nexus, but we win, that's the important thing, right? So right there I wanted to ult Draven by accidentally hit Rengar. Well, I don't know if it's accidentally, but Rengar got the friggin' win. And down I go. So Fizz starts a surrender vote, because why not? At this point the enemy really is without a prayer, and most importantly of all, you got to see the reworked Ashe in action. I didn't get to go for a late game build, I didn't even get to finish the last Whisper, but it's Ashe, like I promised for the week. So if I can think of anything else to say, I'll post that in the description. Until next time, I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.